So tell me a little bit about what sets you apart from other people who do this service.
So as a wedding planner, I specialize in global fusion weddings. And what is that? Those are couples that come together that are from two or more different backgrounds, whether it's faiths or cultures and or both. And it's becoming a lot more prevalent today. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and what I do is work with the rituals, the customs, the traditions, and I interview the families, and we work together collaboratively to bring about a ceremony and a wedding that has a balance, and it's warm and welcoming and open to both traditions, and we want the families and the guests to feel comfortable. That's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. So what sets me apart is that I understand many different cultures. I've worked with Chinese and Vietnamese, Indian, Jewish, which is my culture, so I'm really an expert on interfaith and cross-cultural Jewish weddings. And I take a look at the ceremonies as well as different ways we can infuse customs and traditions throughout the day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So another way that I'm different from other planners is that I have a technical background. A lot of planners are designers and stylists and have that type of background. My background, although I work with designers and stylists, I consider myself more of a ritual designer than a prop or set designer. But I bring them in. They are on my team, and then the other part of it is the technical aspects, like we were talking about in just a while ago about the microphones and the bands and the energy in the room and what types of music to choose and when to have that happen. And so I have just a multifacet between the music. I was a DJ for weddings. I have DJ'd weddings, and I can get people up and dance as well as working on the ceremony side. So I bring a different perspectives.
Yeah, that technical piece seems really important because I'm sure of so many things that can go wrong, and for you to know which is which cable is which, or who's on this task or whatever, and to be able to manage that piece seems just incredible.
And the wedding that I'm doing next week, that is one of the things we've been working on, is the technical piece about the microphone and the band. They're going to have a piano player that's going to play at the ceremony, but they don't normally play at weddings all the time, but they're going to be there. And then they have a mic on a cord, but it doesn't have a long enough cord. Cable. It's not a cord. And then where is the electrical outlet, and all of these different issues that a lot of planners wouldn't know how to address. That they rely on the band, they rely on the DJs, but sometimes they don't come to the aid. They're not necessarily going to make 3 or 4 visits to your site.
Right. So you can kind of troubleshoot all of that just because you have that know-how. Not only
and I know how to ask the questions.
Yes. Yeah.
So and on the other hand, I also know about table setups and things like that. And yesterday when we're at the site visit and we're dealing with the microphone, when we come back into the ballroom, and I asked the bride, I said, what kind of fold do you want for your napkin? And she was like, there's a different fold? So the catering manager came out and did a fan and did a fold in the cup, and she was like, I didn't know I had that choice. So so those are the kinds of issues that when you come down details,
The details.
the details that if you answer those ahead of the day of the wedding, then you can have a smooth, relaxed day.
Yeah.
And another issue that's really important that I'm really good at are the timelines. Because to plan these big events are amazing. I mean, you have so many moving parts. The cake is coming in, the florist is coming in, the caterer. So an example we have in this wedding next week is the florist wants to come in at noon. The caterer says, oh no, the golf course is not going to set up the chairs till 3. So we don't want a chuppah on the golf course for 6 hours.
Right.
And so you have to, I have to find out when everybody's coming, but you can't plan your wedding until you start working on that timeline. And that timeline, I study the timeline. I go back over it and I get everybody's information. And then I have a very extensive timeline, which helps to ensure success on the day of the wedding.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, so the bride and groom aren't being bombarded with all these last-minute decisions that really shouldn't be theirs to make.
Right.
In terms of the orchestration of the caterer and details like that. That's your job, and it sounds like that's a piece that you really handle because of this timeline. Like who's coming when, and it all makes sense, and it's all in the right order, and the bride and groom just get to show up and enjoy their day.
Right. So in the world of professional wedding planners, it's a misnomer to have a day of planner. Because you can't coordinate something you don't understand. So if you're going to coordinate the wedding, and the couple can certainly put parts together, they can plan, they can pick their vendors and whatever. But in terms of coordinating, then you have to get all of these people that may never have worked together on the same page for you on the day of the wedding. And so it's just really important. You have to remember you get what you pay for with this. And you have to think about how important it is for your day of the wedding to run smoothly. And so it does make a difference when you hire somebody that has the kind of expertise that I do to make your day run smooth.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me here and inviting me to speak on one of my most favorite subjects.